Now begins another episode of the Inspired Disorder Podcast. With our hosts, Ray Taylor and Keith Spurlock. Disorder starts now.
Boom. Okay.
DJ Jazzy Ray on the ones and twos.
I got to mix the music up because of copyright issues. You know, I want to get money from YouTube, so I gotta disguise shit. So another episode of the Inspired Disorder Podcast with Keith Spurlock. How you doing, Keith?
Not bad. How are you, Ray?
Doing well. And our special guest back again.
Once again,
back again, at it again. Gareth Reynolds. How you doing, Gareth?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, guys.
Hey.
USA, a very great place, yeah.
He's back from his tour from Afghanistan, where he picked up many of the dialect and mannerisms, I think, right? Those are the right words.
That's what I'm saying in the press release, yeah, that it's mainly the dialogue and the mannerisms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Press releases are good. And your video froze, but it froze in a very thoughtful and epic thinking man fashion. So
Is it still frozen?
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
great. So now you guys just have me being like smart looking? Keep that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing this.
You're covering your mouth.
Almost finger mustache style.
Yeah.
You know that it means a lot to me when I say smart looking.
Yeah. So how's it been going, Gareth?
It's been pretty good. Things have been pretty good. I've been on the road a lot for the last 2 months with comedian Asian Steve Byrne, and so it's pretty crazy because you don't spend a lot of time at home, but it's good.
Is it crazy because he's not only a comedian but he's also Asian? Does that add craziness?
That's a lot of it. That's most of it.
Yeah.
Is that he's Asian. That's what makes it so weird.
Yeah.
Different. It's weird.
And you've known him for a while, right? I think
A very long time. Yeah. He's the person who told me repeatedly to start doing stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known him for a while, and he's been, he's one of my best friends. He's a great guy. That's a dog. I'll shut those.
Gareth bringing the sound effects to this show as well.
I have a lot of dogs next door. And they're not mine, but people in the community have decided, a lot of dogs will go there. And
Yeah.
I haven't said anything.
That's right. You shouldn't say anything. I mean, dogs need to do what dogs need to do,
I mean, I feel like people with that many dogs probably don't listen to people like me. So
Yeah.
just better stay out of the way.
Yeah. But, maybe you should just take a screen capture. I'll get a screen capture of the video version of this show, and you send them how thoughtful you look in your frozen video, and maybe they'll tone it down a little bit.
His
So wait,
video
is it
is cracking
frozen?
me up almost as much as the chipmunk.
I was just gonna
Just
say, there's last time it was the chipmunk, and now it's the ponderer.
Yeah. Well, it's very difficult when you have such a successful episode as that one was to how could you possibly top the chipmunk technology herpes? And
Well, what I like is that we went in a new direction.
yeah.
Same idea, new direction,
Yeah.
which I think
It's
is how you
more
do
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're evolving. We're growing up.
That's right. You're goddamn right we are.
Yeah, a lot of meditation happens, and we come up with ideas that lead to this. And
What if it was just my plot so that I could jerk off and do this? And I
That's
planned it the whole time.
you just uncovered the reason I became a chipmunk on last episode that you were on. Trick was that wasn't a fucked up video. That's just what I look like when I'm jerking off. I look like a chipmunk on meth.
I would say the same with what mine's stuck on. That's what I look like when I jerk off.
Yeah. That's makes it very different to look at your picture now.
Yeah, good.
I'm seeing a lot of things in my head that I didn't expect to see in my head during this
Sure.
conversation. But that's what life is. Life throws you curveballs sometimes, and you have to learn how to make
lemonade.
Exactly. Yep.
With curveballs?
Sorry, I can't see who. Okay, I moved. Can you still not see me?
Yeah, your video is still frozen. I mean, you
Okay.
could maybe turn off your video and turn it back on. I don't know. I have no
Well,
idea.
we already know that we're playing with house money when it comes to me and this Skype shit.
That's true. And we are known. This is a much better picture. For those watching, it went from thoughtful Gareth to sticking phallic.
He's back.
There he is. We got video. Woo! So Gareth just finished. How was that jerk session?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
So good.
How is
you guys were awesome.
How is it to podcast and jerk off at the same time? I don't know if anybody's done that before. You might be the first.
No, I've done it before, so I've done it a bunch of times.
Okay.
But it's great. It's the way to do it.
Yeah. What was the first time like? Was it scary? What podcast was it?
It's like the first time you jerk off when driving a car. It's scary, but it's exciting, and it's illegal, but it's great.
Is it illegal?
I don't know.
Was I breaking the law?
Don't tell me if it isn't, because that's part of what really gets me going about it.
I remember the first time I jerked off in the car. It was on my way back from my first. I was young. It's my first girlfriend, and we had just dry humped. We never had sex, but I had to release. I couldn't make it all the way home. I had to that's a very sad, depressing thing to do.
Where'd you go? Where'd you finish into?
I think just in my shorts. I can't really remember. I think because I think I had just like a wet spot on my shorts when I got home.
I've heard Joe Rogan talk about that, where he's like, just get off and leave it in his underwear or something, and pass out in his hotel. I've never even contemplated that.
You guys high class jerkers, or what do you guys? How do you guys finish?
Tissue.
Okay.
You got a McDonald's napkin somewhere in your fucking car.
There we go. Classy.
Oh, it wasn't my car. It was my mom's
Those are nice
SUV.
because they have those little bumps on them, so it's nice.
Yeah. What about you, Gareth? What do you enjoy finishing into? I love
I treat it like a murder. I get rid of as much of the evidence as I can, and then
Okay. So you put up like Dexter style. You put up plastic curtains everywhere. It's like this shit's gonna get messy, but I'm gonna have a good time.
Exactly. A lot of plastic. I'm stapling plastic to wherever I am.
Yeah.
Everywhere, all over. And much like Dexter, there's fluids that aren't of me involved, and I don't even want to get into it.
Wow.
But
that's next level.
it's insane. I don't want to overstate.
Do you sneak up on him like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Where it's like you just sneak up on your dick, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, and I'm also giving it the shine box treatment. Shine box, boner. Go get your shine box.
Snap the towel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I ain't done until I can see my face in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I know I'm finished. It doesn't matter if I come. That's not the end of the game necessarily.
No, and it is a game.
If I can't fix my hair in the glare of my dick, then I'm not doing it right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We're just trying to get you prepared for what you're about to do after the show. We want to just make sure your mind is full and clean and cleansed.
The naughty show, not dinner with my aunt and mom.
No, of course, that's just weird. Why would that be?
To make sure that.
I mean, I don't know what relationship you have with your mom and aunt. I don't want to presume to know things about you. But
it's not of that nature.
Okay. That's good. It's good to know, I'm no judging in case it was.
No, there's nothing wrong with banging your mom and your aunt. I'm just telling you, for all intents and purposes, that is not going on in my situation.
Okay.
Dinner's dinner. Yeah. Dinner's dinner and Wheel of Fortune.
Your parents are like English, right?
They're English. They're divorced. It's great.
They're English and divorced.
It all.
Is that a special kind of English person to be divorced? Do they handle divorce differently?
I think people in England probably are more like old school in the sense that they'll stay together and hate each other rather than get divorced.
Yeah.
So I think that in a way it is different. Yeah.
Let's see. We're learning things, right? We're learning about.
Put on my look face again.
They're not as hardcore as Indian people though, because they get arranged and will stay together after they hate each other.
Yeah. No, there's not a lot of cultures that handle it well. I mean, that's the thing, though. I think we're just now I think Americans are now just like the ones that are like, yeah, we'll just call it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Countries are still just like, we'll just fucking despise each other. Like my aunt and uncle in England, they probably hate each other as much as my mom and my dad hate each other, but they still live together. and it just that their hate now is just like it's just so palpable. You know, like it's just a crazy hate.
Yeah.
But is it like all right, my dad and my stepmom, like they have like a hate-love relationship where it's like, you know, my stepmom yells for my dad from anywhere in the house, even though he's always in the garage. She could walk to the garage and yell for him, and every time she yells, he goes, "What the fuck do you want?"
But they love each other.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does what she wants. But he has to give that little bit of hate before he gives the love. He's like, fuck you. All right, what do you need?
Yeah, no, that's probably functioning, right? They like each other. Yeah, my aunt and my uncle, I mean, I don't even, who knows? Who knows what's going on when you get to that point?
Or
you definitely hate each other. If somebody were to be like, I will get them out of your life forever, no questions asked. Do you want them to be like, yes, do that.
So have you gone back to England or anything, like to visit family and stuff?
Yeah, well, my mom lived there for. I was raised in Wisconsin, and my mom lived there for a while, and so I would go back and visit. You know, probably like every other year. But when I was a kid, I used to go all the time. But now it's like I don't really go there anymore because the truth is, my family over there has just gotten crazier and crazier.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't know. England's a really fucked up country. Like there are a lot of drugs there, and cheap, shitty drugs, you know, and they're everywhere.
Wow.
And so a lot of people do drugs, and you know, people in my family have had issues with drugs and you know shit like that. So, so the truth is, I used to go there every Christmas, and I used to just be like, yay! But then it was like once people started like losing their minds more and more, it was like, I'll just eat here. I'll just eat at home.
We need a divorce, England. I can't
Divorce
handle
England.
this anymore. Tapping
London's
out.
great. Go there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you. Ray.
What part? You're very welcome, Gareth. What part of England is it?
My family,
not that I
most
would know.
of my family's from a small town called Stourbridge, which is located in the West Midlands.
Okay. So what is the, I don't know, the look of that? Is it like farm, or is it like city, town?
No, it's more like, you know, it's honestly, the layout's probably more like when you think of just sort of Midwest suburbia.
Okay.
Kind of like that. The climate is very rainy. A little greener, though, than like most like those Midwest cities. But it's just kind of like, you know, stores are, you know, there's areas where you go where there's stuff, and then there's areas where you go where there's fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like that. But dirty. I used to fucking love it. I used to eat just like chocolate, and I could buy cigarettes at 16. And, you know, they would have like topless women in the paper. I got served at a bar for the first time when I was like 14, and I looked like a girl who was 9. And I would be able to go to this bar and get served fucking beer by a topless barmaid. I mean, I was like, what the fuck? I got laid at like 15 in England. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Is like a cheat code for life, kind of.
They
like
love that sweet Wisconsin accent.
Yeah, no. They, honest to God, like people like they would find out you were American, and you would be treated like a celebrity. You really would. People would be like, "So you're an actual fucking American?" And you'd be like, "That's right. I love apple pie. I can't find any good pieces out here."
Baseball.
Yeah. You'd be like, cricket, I can't follow cricket. It reminds me of my favorite sport, baseball.
So that's why you wanted to pursue a career in like the entertainment industry. It's like I need to have this kind of attention back home. How do I bring this back home?
I bet you are fucking right. I'm not kidding. I bet you that's true.
You're like, if I'm 32 years old and I still look like a 9-year-old girl, I want to be served a beer in a bar by a topless woman at some point in the U.S.
Honestly, I think what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
I bet you it is. I went to visit my cousin's school, and they had me signing autographs.
How long ago was that?
This was last month. No, this was probably like 11.
You were 11 years ago, or you were 11 years old?
No, I was 11 years old.
Holy shit.
No, this is before.
A real American signed my textbook.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Like,
Look how he writes his R's. It's so American.
And walking around, and then there'd obviously, there'd be some people who'd kind of be like, yeah, big deal, an American, and you'd be like, oh, we got a fucking challenger, huh? Well, motherfucker, you want to step to this American?
The funnier part is I know like a bunch of English dudes who have moved over here, and sometimes they get treated like that, but like I got a buddy who lives over in like a little village outside of bumfuck wherever he works in the bar. They fucking hate him. They're just like, and because he's got like long hair with his hair in braids, he's like a break dancer.
Well,
so he's kind of
time traveler as well.
Yes, it's ridiculous, but like he's always just like, they fucking hate me. I'm like, you moved to a hick town, in the middle of Ohio. Like,
location. I
almost don't feel bad for you. Like, what the fuck are you doing there?
That's so funny though for someone to be like, man, it'll be great. They'll love my accent. People be like, hey, dumbass, and he's like, wait, no.
It's like,
well, here's what's
why does he talk like a retard?
Two girls.
I'm an elephant man. Why?
All the girls probably liked it, so that means all the dudes fucking hate him.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah. That's definitely what I experienced when I was 11. But then I also remember, like, sadder times when I would, I'd be in, like, a club, like, on New Year's Eve, and I'd be, like, drunk at, like, 17. And I'd be, like, going up to girls at, like, 11:30, just like, I'm an American. And people being like, whatever. Maybe like, hello? Give me my spoils.
I will sign something for you. I don't know if you know who I am.
Your money confuses me. I'm legit.
Have you ever heard of Wisconsin? Right here. Huh, ladies?
I'm from Beverly Hills. Anyone.
Would you like to taste my cheese curds, madame?
The fresh ones are squeaky. Oh, man. All the secrets are out. It's never going to work for you again, Gareth. Now, all the women know. They're like, I saw you talk shit, and that trick's not going to work.
Yeah, well.
You may have to throw in some sound effects.
Yeah, there you go. That's why it's great to have that in the back pocket.
Staying ahead of the curve,
Absolutely.
Got to reinvent yourself every once in a while just to keep those chicks in the UK moist.
Yeah, you got to keep them guessing, obviously,
Yeah.
I wanted to go to England when I went overseas, but I got caught up in Amsterdam the entire time.
Caught up.
That literally that happened to me, and that's happened to everybody I know who tried to just do a drive-by in Amsterdam.
I was like, maybe we'll catch the train and we'll go over to England, and if we had 4 days, and I was like, okay, so we landed in Schiphol and straight into Amsterdam, and then I just got so goddamn high. And then they have all those streets with the prostitutes. You've been there.
Remember, we saw each other. We danced.
Shit.
Yeah, that's right. I thought we fucked.
It's hard to.
It's great.
Yeah, to try to explain to people, they're like, what those girls look like? Because they think it's probably just like trashy, which some of them are. But I was like, you would not fucking believe the hotness of some of these fucking girls.
These girls, some of them are so hot that you could potentially down the road be going out with them, and they could tell you that they used to be whores, and you would be like, God, okay.
Damn.
It's ridiculous, and when people ask me, because I've admitted it before. Like I went with like a bunch of other dudes, and on the way there, all of them were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get that," and I'm like, I was single when I went there, so it got to the time, and I was asking, I'm like, "Hey, so you want to just head on down there and go window shopping?" And they were all like, man, I'm not gonna," and I'm like, "Well, fuck you guys, I'm going." And they're like, well, we'll walk with you. I was like, whatever you guys want to do, but I'm going.
By the way, that's a big no. Oh, cool, you'll walk with me.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Yeah. And which it started raining right before I went in.
Horrible sign.
So they all had to stand out in the rain.
They were waiting outside?
They waited outside.
Oh, man, I'd have been like, get out of here.
It was like, but it was one of the upstairs ones. It wasn't one of the
They're
floor.
just like, yeah, hold on, we're waiting for Keith to come.
So yeah,
Like,
and it took me a minute to warm up because we were there in March and we were walking around. So
yeah, I hear you.
it took me a second to warm up to the situation, but things got handled. And,
Things
very
got
professional,
handled.
very cheap. Also,
Well, I would imagine the male prostitutes are pretty cheap, you know, with all the competition for
I
females.
bet you would imagine that when I'm talking not about that.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Me and my brother went there. We went all over, but we went there. We stayed there for a few days. And there are all the guys selling sex shows. So there'll just be like...
The barkers?
Yeah, and first of all, there's other people who are just trying to sell you like coke, ecstasy, speed, nonstop. And then we were walking around a bunch, and you know, there's this guy who we kept walking by, and he kept being like, "Come on, sex show, give you student discount," and we were like, how much?" And he was at the time they were paying in a gelda, not euros, so it was like 45 geldas. So we kept walking around. We kept saying no to this guy, and then we were like walking home, and we saw this one, and we were like, fuck it, let's go in there. And the guy was like, he'll charge us like 50 geldas. So we were like, okay, fine, fuck it. So he takes us from where we thought was like the downstairs where we were going and leads us down the street to where the other guy's store was, who we kept walking by. And the guy got so fucking pissed. He was like, what, you'll fucking not do it for me? And we were like, oh, no, sorry. And then we went inside, and it was the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so awkward. It was the worst. We left right away. It was so weird.
You gotta... what kind of awkward? Like, what kind of awkward is it?
Like
like
it's just so... It's just so... It was so theatrical, almost. It was like... I don't know what I expected. I guess I don't know the version of this in my head now that I would be like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
But... It was like the guy and the girl were pretending to be like Navy SEALs on a 4x4 stage, so no room. and they're legit pretending to be like Navy SEALs, like back to back, like, you know, hunting baddies and shit. And then it's almost like, you know, they turn around, they just start making out, they take their clothes off, you know, she's blowing him, and then they're banging, but they're banging like Phantom of the Opera, like bam. Bam, like very like over the top and not like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's no finishing. They just do this for about 5 minutes. Then they both get up totally naked and take bows. And the guy's still got this fucking like sword that's just going like when he's bowing.
Yeah.
My brother and I were like, just let's get the fuck out of here the first second we can. And then as soon as lights went down for the next one, we were like, ow.
But you went there, but you stayed long enough to at least see to intermission.
To make sure there was no good. We made
Fucking,
sure there was no
it's gonna be rude if we leave this shit before intermission, bro. We gotta
I like
stay.
how he started it. He started though with we left right away.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And
it's
then
like,
all of a sudden the story gets to, and then they bowed.
We got-
It was like, oh, so you stayed through the whole thing.
Totally. the whole thing.
Yeah, they bowed. The guy gave himself a mushroom stamp, and you left.
Yeah. Wanted to make sure it was never going to get good.
It's like when you go into a shitty movie and you're like, it's gotta get better. It's gonna get better.
It's Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
By the time you realize it's the worst thing ever, you're like, it's 20 minutes to just finish the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's like we've already killed our lives this much.
Let's
2 hours
finish.
of our life is gone.
Yeah.
It blew me away how many of the, like you said, the people were always offering you drugs on the street, but it threw me off because all these black dudes kept whispering Charlie to me, and I was like,
no,
it was Charlie. He just kept saying Charlie, and I'm like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? And so I just flat out asked him, I'm like, what the fuck is Charlie? He's like, cocaine, and I'm like, oh, that makes no sense. So.
Yeah.
But at least for the rest of the time, you know, they between the psst, 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 that's all I heard. Like,
I know, it's nonstop. It's almost like you're an 11-year-old American in England with all the people talking to you.
it reminded me of going to festivals. Like, I used to go to Hippie Fest as a kid, and like people selling drugs there be like, you know, just whisper what they had while they're walking by you.
Right.
And it was like a giant town that was a festival. You could just go in places and smoke pot and drink.
Yeah. Sounds like LA now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, almost, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to fucking... I never travel, man. I need to travel.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
There's a lot of bullshit, but there's some good shit.
I was supposed to actually go out to visit Yuck and Dogs like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But that I've been having some issues back home that I got to take care of. So wasn't able to go, but it's like that would have been like my one time getting out, you know, some kind of vacation for like a weekend. Not that.
Yeah.
Why don't you come to Ohio, man? You're gonna go visit those guys, but
there's Izzy brought up there might be a thing in March. They might do some live podcasts out there, so I might go out there for that, or try and figure out a way to get out there for that. So I might be coming out there. We'll see.
drive.
Yeah, duh, this is a quick drive. I'm sure I got that. But anyway,
Man, that's another thing that kills me about Europe to hear. It's so much smaller, but the train system, like,
Yeah.
why is that not here?
Well,
We could just go everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we're just the worst.
It's so bad.
So we just don't do the good things, and you know.
Yeah.
But it is true. I mean, you can, and it's cheap, and you can go all over, and you know, leaving America is so worth doing over and over again if you can, because you know it costs money, but it's also like it's not crazy.
Yeah.
And if you do it, I think you do always. You know, you always are like, fuck, it was so good. Once you're there and you're like, just around other shit, like completely different shit, completely different food, walking everywhere, and
Yeah.
no, it's just like, it's great when you go to the right place.
Where's the place that you were probably hesitant to go, or maybe thought one way, but after you went was like, holy shit, that's like the most I had no idea it was going to be that much fun.
Like, I mean, there was nowhere ever that I was like, oh, I don't really want to go, but like when my brother got married in Italy and we went to Florence for like 10 days or something, it was just like, I don't know, it was just so, it was just, I didn't know what I was in for. It's just such a great little city.
Yeah.
I mean, Italy all over is awesome, but I don't know, something just about like Florence was just the greatest. The city's got a ton to do, best food. You know, it's just fucking awesome.
Would that be like, say you get like rich and famous and like you have tons of money and you can just
You
fucking
mean basically this?
Yeah, just imagine what was in your head at 11 years old being a reality of a situation where you can just go anywhere in the world. Do you have a spot, like a retirement spot or like a getaway spot?
I would go to somewhere in France is where I would probably go.
Yeah, so that's like on your vision board that you wake up, you look at it, picture
I actually do vision dioramas.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I vision diorama.
Those are better because they're in 3D.
And they take longer.
Yes.
You're more invested in it when you're done.
Yeah, it's the passion really pours into the diorama. Yeah.
Oh, all over.
And somebody's got to keep that shit alive because I don't know if kids are still doing that in school.
Did anyone not do their diorama the night before shittily or the morning of? Like, really? I never spent time on any of that shit, even though I love doing art. But I hated doing homework, and when they made me take it home, I just fuck that.
I bet that was one of the few things I responded to. But everything else, I was like that. Like, fuck this. I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I would just go into school like without shit done. Like, why are you even going?
I never went with it. I would either I cheated my way, but I mean, even I just cheated my way through everything.
Yeah.
I never did homework. I always fucking just copied off people like right before class but I was smart enough that I'd still get like a B on the test.
Yeah. If you just pay attention every once in a while, you don't really need to do shit. You're just like regurgitating. They talk about the shit in class. Like, I remember English class, like they would fucking read the book. Like, okay, I don't even need to read. I just have to kind of listen.
I've done that.
Neither.
I wouldn't listen. I did terrible. I wouldn't read. I wouldn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
I would cheat. And I just didn't know. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What was the most elaborate cheat that you ever pulled off in school, like on a
The funniest
test?
thing I ever did was on a quiz. I wrote tap roots for every answer in biology because I knew that tap roots would be one of them, and it was. It was one of them.
So you got one right?
I got one right.
Nice.
My
Nice.
biology, my best cheat was in biology. There was a bigger girl in our class, and she was really nice. So I would talk to her, and she was smart, and she sat behind me. So I convinced her for the test. I go, all right, we're gonna go through all these questions, and you're gonna tap me on the back with your eraser, once for A, twice for B, three times for C, and we just go through the whole test like that. And I did that on like 5 fucking tests that year
That's good.
Yeah.
and aced them. You know, I would intentionally get a couple different from her just because I was smart.
You're a smart
I was
cheater.
so smart.
Yeah.
I knew how to cheat.
Yeah. I know I cheated. I remember writing stuff down like really small in like weird places, like on the back of a hat or whatever. But I don't know. Like cheating now, I can't imagine like how fucking easy. Like
It
it's
seems like
ridiculous how easy it would be
little
today.
brothers and sisters, and it almost seems like now they just know that kids will cheat, so they almost cater things to just get this. Like, there's still tests and shit, but my little brother, it's like they have to do stuff where they just have to look up shit online, and that's just
Yeah, they
Yeah.
let them take their test with their iPads. They're like,
Yeah.
here's your I. Could you imagine if for every test all you had to do was type in the question
Yeah.
and it gave you the answer? Holy
Dude,
shit!
Like
Yeah.
you couldn't even use a calculator in math. Like
No,
it's like
yeah,
you have to do
nothing.
this shit the long way, bitch.
And then calculator watches got banned. They started really investigating people's watches after a while
Yeah.
because that was a craze.
I remember we had the TI-85 calculator. That thing, I would just store whatever the fuck I could into that
Yeah.
for anything I could use it for, and just like, I mean, honest to God, it was like a goddamn miracle I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that bad, but
I
just
didn't either.
cheated a lot. I definitely was just like, as no work. I put in literally didn't give a fuck. Didn't listen, didn't do shit.
I think we've lived the same high school life because I took the book home like twice. We had our senior year. At our school the big thing is a senior scrapbook. That's like 50% of your fucking English grade. Like if you don't make this goddamn scrapbook, you don't graduate, and you have to have like 3 things a month. And so I did my whole thing the night before. With like I just had to find enough shit in my house that I could pass. Like I'm digging out old receipts out of the trash. Like I fucking put my old fucking retainer with a tooth on it, and I was just stapling everything I had. I was like whatever, and I got a fucking B plus. I was like, what are you? I think they just wanted to get me out of there at that point.
They thought you were special.
They were just like, whatever, give me. Let him pass.
He's gonna be a stand-up comic one day. Nobody gives a fuck.
When I went to college, because I went to Emerson, and it was like so easy, so fucking easy. I think my second year there, I was literally giving an in-class report on tornadoes for my class weather, and I was like, "This is some fucking bullshit right here."
What did you go for? What did you go to school for?
I went for acting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, there's
Wait, I've got the best.
class math.
I went to college for a semester, but I was going to go to a wildlife school, Hocking Tech. It's in Southern Ohio.
Hawking?
Yeah, Hocking in the Hocking Hills,
It's one of Steven's schools.
and not Hawking's,
Oh, sorry.
Hocking.
Oh, sorry.
Ramps everywhere.
But so I went there with the intentions of being like a forest ranger, so I was going to take those classes, and I went and I got high before I signed in.
You sound
And,
like a man already.
So I'm there with my mom, and as we're waiting in line to sign up for classes, like forestry was what I was going into, or forestry and wildlife management.
Forestry with a minor in wildlife management.
And
Get it straight, Keith.
So we're looking through the pages of the classes, and my mom points out, she goes, backcountry horsemanship, you love horses. Now, I had maybe ridden horses. She loved horses. I had maybe ridden horses 3-4 times in my life. I liked it when I did it, but it's not like it was something I did.
Your mom
When
was
I
clearly projecting her love of horses upon you.
I was really high, and I was like, fuck yeah, I love horses.
It's like, you're right, Mom.
I do
10
love
minutes
them.
later, I'm signed up for fucking backcountry horsemanship. Mind you, I was wearing like some wide leg pants and with a wallet chain. I think my hair was all bleached out, and I had some piercings.
So it was the 90s.
It was definitely the 90s.
Yeah.
And so then I like go for orientation, and it's all like Wranglers and cowboy hats, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do?
You're like, I gotta stop making life decisions high. This is not paying off.
You know,
really
there's a
high.
time and a place to get high, and before you're signing up for college classes might not be the most opportune time.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So
I made it a semester, and you know what I learned in college? I learned
not
that
get high before college.
yeah, pretty much. But I also got high all the time. Only went to class about half the time, and then by the end of the first semester, I was like, I'm done before I waste any more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I signed up for junior college and had like one super early, like 6 a.m. class for some stupid reason for art history, and then 2 super late classes for like math and English. And I went to the late classes. I went to like the first one day, but I just stopped going after a few months. I was like, this is bullshit. Like there's nothing here I want to learn.
Yeah.
So I just stopped going. And then began the
Began.
journey of my
began.
life. For 12 years, struggling to find myself. But now I am here talking with Gareth Reynolds.
What? Wait, what?
Bestow upon me the knowledge.
Favorite class in college? I guess you went for acting, so that doesn't count.
No, I took one called World Music where you got to give your own grade, and me and Evan Mann gave ourselves A pluses.
When they told you that, did your brain explode? Like, how is this even possible? How is this a good idea on any...
Day he goes, and I know I've probably heard of me. I'm the guy who lets you give yourself your own grade, but let me tell you, I make you prove it. And I honestly look at Evan like, this guy's out of his fucking tip.
It's like, I'm going to make you prove it, bitch.
Yeah, and then it was just like at the end of all of it. Yeah, it's just sitting down, and he's like, so what do you think? And I'm like, an A+.
Yeah.
He's like, an A+? And I go, yeah.
Yeah. Go
He's
high,
like,
man.
That's as now. Can you explain why you think that? And I was like, I've nailed everything. I've learned everything. I was like, A+. He was like, well, you can if you really think you deserve it, but you might not. I'd be like, I do. You're not gonna say me, man. I'm pretty sold on this A+ here. So
Gareth
why don't we
taking
give ourselves
advantage
some
of
time?
hippie teachers, man.
Yeah, totally.
Keith, that guy has to be related to Keith. He got way too high before he like wrote his course schedule for that semester. He's like,
Just
I got a
grading
great
stuff,
idea, man. It's like, I'm not gonna have to. Grading takes up so much of my time, and I just figured out how I can get rid of all of that.
We had a teacher in high school who decided he was going to do that because he also was like a wrestling coach. So we would do our homework, and then he would trade it amongst us. He would collect it all, and then he would hand it out in a random order, and then he would have us grade each other's papers. So all you would have to do was scan. Like, I'm from a fucking village. We just scanned the room.
Grades.
And then just locked eyes with whoever was looking at you had your paper. And then you just give them the nod. You're like, mm-hmm. And then boom, I got a B.
A B.
Well, again, you can't, when you're cheating, you don't Gareth and go A+.
Hey,
Well, he did, actually.
That's the teacher lets you.
I definitely subscribe to that theory.
Yeah. Who's
That's
more
Keith's
successful
plan.
right now?
I'm not going A+. If I'm cheating, I want to be below the radar so I can continue my cheat fest.
Listen, that's what made the A+ that I got so tasty.
You don't become a man like Gareth Reynolds is today without shooting for the A+ at all occasions.
Even when it's not at all deserved because you made up every fact you brought into class.
Yeah. Then you argue the point, it would have been higher if there was a plus, but there's no plus. Your scale is broken, sir. I am too smart for it.
You're lucky that I'm not asking for an extra plus.
Yeah.
I'm a little insulted by the pushback.
It's like
I think I've done extra credit for this.
My performance was so good.
A+, that's like 112%. I mean,
my friends should all get A+ just for knowing me.
All right, Ray, what was your favorite course in college?
I didn't. The only ones I showed up to, I guess English. It was English and math, and fuck math.
That sound like horrible goddamn first two classes.
That's why I didn't go. I stopped going.
All right.
My favorite class in high school, I had, it was like a digital art class back when it was Photoshop.
Yeah, that sounds like a rich kid school that we're Midwest kids.
No, it's just
digital art classes in goddamn Wisconsin or Ohio.
It was a new school, so there was money in it. But the teacher was like cool. I never had to do anything. He was like, I knew Photoshop back then. Like I knew Photoshop, so I already knew like there was nothing I was gonna learn. So I just fucking did whatever the fuck I wanted to and got A's. So that's actually the class he left, and I had a substitute, and it was that's when I first saw the Traces of Death shit, where my mind was never right. It's getting to see people shoot themselves in the head and babies burning.
Faces of Death.
Faces of Death. Whatever.
Traces. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Traces of Death. I was like, is that the Fairley Brothers?
I'm trying to. Yeah. It's coming. It's pre-production right now. They're trying to get funding still. Jim Carrey's hopefully. They're talking. They're in talks.
Funny.
In my brief college experience, I got to have a class which I actually passed. Went through the whole thing in my one semester. Chainsaw management. It was awesome. We got to fucking play with chainsaws and cut trees down. That was my class.
That's a great class.
I grew up in the wrong area.
I know how to fucking rock a chainsaw now, so zombie apocalypse, bring it on.
And people always wonder where the chainsaw jugglers come from. The A++ students
that shit.
of chainsaw management.
But yeah, that class was fucking awesome. Just cutting down, we just like walk into the woods and cut down trees.
It almost doesn't sound like enough for a class.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
then we learned how to fucking put the chain on a chainsaw and like oil it up and gas it and keep it clean.
Dude, I didn't grow up in San Diego, but people I know that did, there's classes for surfing. Like that's your physical, you just go surfing. Actually, a buddy of somebody I know from Wisconsin, I don't remember who it was, took bowling.
There's a weightlifting class in the town I live in now.
Yeah.
Yeah, weightlifting. I think I've seen that too.
I had weightlifting. Another thing I underachieved at.
Yeah, but you got an A++ anyway.
I wish I could give myself my grade for that shit.
Oh, fucking school, man.
Yeah, the gym teachers don't give out the A++s for pussies, as they would say it.
Yeah.
Our gym teacher actually assaulted 2 kids and didn't lose his job. But again, I live in a village. It was like we're about 12 years behind everywhere else. So like you can just hit kids and shit. I mean, you can't do it now. But this was probably, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, you can hit kids then.
The good old times, as they say, but sadly.
Much better to be a teacher with that ability than one without.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad always told me if the school would let him sign something to where the teachers could hit me, he would, because the teachers hit him and he turned out so well.
Yeah, it's like, fuck that. That's not fair. He has to get beaten just like I did.
Son.
When they'll fill up the chainsaw and they're like, "What was that, fuckface?"
Yeah. Oh man. So how's the Naughty Show going? How is it? Because I don't know.
Naughty?
Is it Naughty? Is it a show?
Not naughty, really.
When the last time were you still at the Joint Studios last time? I can't remember if you were at the Joint.
Yes.
Wait, when you were there?
No, when you were last on this show. I know you were at the Playboy Studios.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So what would be the big, if you were to go back to school, draw interconnecting circles, and you were to list like the Naughty Show at the Joint Studios and the Naughty Show at Playboy Studios, and you were to compare and contrast the two,
What in the fucking algebra question
Sorry, I
are
was
you asking?
trying to
Brad?
bring it back
I
to
could,
school.
I could see him lose it in about the first 5 seconds too. I was like, "What?" Compare and contrast these two.
I was trying to go back
if
to
you-
like
if you take
school,
off
you
from
know.
San Diego, and you
it's-
fly to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
and
And if
the
you're
second
going at
person's on
60
the
miles
train,
an hour, how funny
who
is
gets
it?
there faster, and what time is it when they get there? Go.
Yeah.
5:30.
5:30.
You are incorrect, sir, but A+ anyway.
Yes.
So how's it? How are you liking the differences in the studios? And,
Well,
you know,
it is definitely different in a way, so it's good. I mean, it seems like there's more famous, I guess, people that come in now, so that's interesting.
You went corporate. You went corporate, guy.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is a little more, you know, but I think that I think for Sam, I mean, the thing is for him, he's been doing this thing for so long and like has really, really, you know, he's put his heart and soul into the thing, and so I think when an opportunity to reach more people, which it has, you know, comes along and have more upside. You know, I mean, obviously, like the joint studio is great because you could just go there and you just smoke weed and you never really knew what the fuck was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, there's the video, obviously, but now I think that there's 2 shows a week, which is more content, and you know, it seems like the guests are getting better and better, and I think the show is going to maybe start to go in a little more like, you know, do some weirder shit and stuff like that. I mean, especially with the roast coming up, like that's an insane one and shit. So,
yeah.
you know, I think because they're an hour now and they have to be a certain amount of time, it's just a little bit different. You know? But I still think it's fun. I mean, I still have a lot of fun, and there's sometimes people come in and it's fucking hilarious. Sometimes people come in and I'm kind of just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it is always just sort of fun in general, just to be there, you know.
How is?
I mean, if you really think about it, like Howard Stern and stuff, like some guests are just duds. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, and
the more popular people that you get to come into a show, the more people don't want to be a jackass.
yeah, but I think also, like, you know, you bring in people who are more well known. Like, there's a number of people that are pretty well known that have come in. You know, that definitely helps, like, reach more people just in general. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of the shit, you know. So I think for Sam, I mean, I think that's why there's so much upside to it for him, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's inspiring to me, like, to see him, like, he really stuck with that show, like, through so many different mediums, and when he could have been, like, just doing the road all the time, like, he was always there to do that, like, and he put that first before money, even, you know, trying to make it happen. And he did. He's got it to Playboy now, and I mean, it can only go somewhere else.
Yeah, and he's always working, you know. He really is, like, he really is always kind of angling and thinking of stuff, and you know, there's times where he really is like so reactive in the sense that when things are good, he's very happy, and when a bad thing happens, he gets really upset.
Yeah, he's a sensitive artist
because he's so fucking passionate about it.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's every comic that I know. Like,
it's every
Sam's,
artist,
like,
man.
For people who have never seen Sam do stand-up, like, you know, Sam is a hilarious stand-up and hilarious on stage in general, you know. So it's like he deserves to have, I think, people, you know, listen to him because he really is, like, funny. I think he's a good interviewer and, you know, a great dude among other things. Yay.
Yay, Sam Tripoli.
Yay, Sammy.
So how'd you like doing the that live show? Because that was kind of a new thing for the show in general, because it seemed like a blend of what I would assume the stage show, Naughty Show, was like, mixed with, like, podcasting.
The Laughster, the thing at the John Lovitz
with Steel
Club.
Panther and everything.
Yeah. You know, I think that there were some issues. But yeah, that is kind of like what the live Naughty. I mean, the live Naughty Show is very crazy. I haven't even been to every one of them, you know, but the ones I have been to, it's just crazy the shit that happens on stage. There's great comics, so it's just a really good kind of like mix and match of a variety show. So I think that's kind of what the Laughster thing was going to be. I mean, I think there were, I guess, I haven't like listened to it or watched it, but I guess there were some audio issues and things like that. And, you know, so that is a shame. And I also know that there were, like, some of the live feed was pulled at times because of the shit that was happening was too crazy.
Too many buttholes on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many in my opinion. But yeah, you know, that was sort of was like.
Well, it's the first time. I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of different things going on, you know.
Yeah.
So
it was very crazy.
Yeah. Are there plans to do more of those, or was that kind of just a feel out thing and see what's next?
I don't know. I think that Sam. I mean, I think it's a lot of work for Sam. Mm-hmm. So I think he, wants to make sure we're gonna. I think there's gonna be the roast of Santa is gonna be live.
Okay. Where's that? Where are you guys gonna do that?
I'm not 100%. I'm not sure. I guess Vicky was saying there's maybe some issue with the date or something, but I'm not 100%. But I think it's later this month or later in December.
That is one of the. For those that don't know, the roast of Santa Claus is it the third or fourth year? But it's fucking hilarious.
This would be the fourth.
And maybe it's the fourth. Yeah.
This would be the fourth because I remember. I think I was a year late on one, and then I've seen two since. One was at Death Squad Studios, one was at Joint Studios.
Yeah, I was at the Joint one. I wasn't at the one before, but they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Well written.
Yeah, that's just an epic.
And when Sam's getting shit on, he's just like, boy, people are really being aggressive towards Santa, huh? Santa's out of friends, but I guess Santa's got to rethink some stuff.
I'm glad I have the elves back home to nurture
His Santa voice just fucking kills me because he's so horrible at doing voices.
Who knows how it even came to be, but thank God.
I'd be curious.
Hello, Santa. I'm like, what the fuck is...
I'd be curious to know what it sounds like in his head, like how good. Like people that are tone deaf, it like sounds good to them. They think they're singing good.
Santa did he eat? What Santa did he eat that sounded like a bird?
Yeah.
Like,
well written. I'm like, what Big Bird?
Like, even just show someone a picture of Santa and be like, what do you think this guy sounds like?
Yeah.
Like, rah, rah, rah. I don't know, like that. He'd be like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
No.
Santa, and he thinks it's a bird.
Yeah, high-pitched, scratchy voice.
Yeah.
I'm Santa!
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho!
Yeah, he's like the Mad Hatter.
Well, you need to teach him, since you have the vocal stylings of a professional sound machine. Yeah.
Leave me.
Hey, you don't fix what ain't broke.
That's true.
When it's this broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. that too. Yeah, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, you do kind of look like Kenny Rogers.
Nice. Yeah. Hey man, if I can get money doing, impersonations or something like that, Kenny Rogers,
if you just
me.
dye your hair gray, man, you are fucking Kenny Rogers.
It's organically getting that way. So.
Well, listen, I would say that's a good plan C, but let's not go there yet.
All right. Well, if you say so, Gareth, I take all of my life cues from you and your inspirational, tidbits that you lay upon us on the show. So I will hold off on that.
Namaste.
For at least
that idea, man. I think Kenny Rogers is hot right now.
Listen, Keith.
Keith, that's not the talk of someone who's leading you down the right path.
See, Gareth
has been hot.
Gareth has spoken, Keith. Okay. Doesn't matter what you say.
That Seinfeld episode, like
Keith,
Kenny Rogers roasters, like that shit's still fresh in people's mind. What was that like?
I must stay.
Yeah, the trends kind of flow like a wave through the country, and where you're living, Keith, it's maybe you just heard of his restaurants that came out in the 90s, but that wave has passed the West Coast. Okay, the trends are different now.
He's been hotter. That's all I'm saying. Things have been more on fire for Rod.
Have you seen pictures of him? He's looking real Asian, so I think he's trying to get in with the Asian market. I mean, there's billions of people over there. So
now it's like a Kenny Rogers balloon, not Kenny Rogers.
Bray, all I'm saying is I think you could make a nominal living impersonating Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
And if we're doing closing arguments, I'll do mine.
Yeah. Yes.
When I say, Ray, that is not as true as I think he's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
This is such I'm emotionally going back and forth so much on this episode.
It has to be tough right now.
Very difficult. I know.
I would be torn right at this point.
Worst case scenario, Google Kenny Rogers. See what's going on right now. I think you'll be.
Okay.
I think you will be unimpressed.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it up to the Google gods.
A fish that a wizard turned into a man.
But if there happens to be the autobiography, if fucking Scorsese is going to be doing the life and times of Kenny Rogers.
Let me stop you right there. He's
Yeah.
not going to do that. He will not be doing that.
Okay.
But we don't
Hold
even
on, I need to make some Wikipedia updates real quick.
No.
Before your Google search.
I mean, after he did the 3D movie doing the kids movies, I hear he's branching off into new, he's done with the whole gangster stuff. Scorsese.
I don't think that he is. And even if he was done with multiple types of movies, the Kenny Rogers biopic is not going to happen for him or anybody.
Man, are you saying that because you prefer to take on that project yourself? Is this like a political thing where you're like, no, it's not? You trying to get the price down? Are you trying to get the price down on the script right now?
He does want to hold them.
Well, apparently you've done your homework.
Yeah.
Well,
is that the next project for Gareth Reynolds? Or do you have news for this?
It's something I'm interested in doing, and I'd like to keep the competition down. So yes,
well, let me just say,
I've got a recommendation for the actor to play Kenny Rogers.
Yes, people. I am people, and you know me. So feel free
I actually feel kind of jealous because Gareth has actually met Ray in person.
That's right,
and I still haven't.
Yeah. It's
steal my thunder, Gareth.
We do so many bits on the show. Last time Gareth was on, I was doing the role as the crackhead chipmunk while masturbating underneath the camera's view. This episode, we're doing the partially frozen video throughout of Gareth Reynolds, just so he can contribute to
frozen throughout.
No, it comes and goes, but I understand that you need to release during the show because once wasn't enough. You just got to.
He's on 6 though.
Yeah, I'm really concerned for your hydration levels, especially if you're going to be leaving your home. Make sure you drink. Okay,
you're right. More the merrier when it comes out.
Yes.
Sure.
So the bits and pieces, and one of the bits is Keith and I have never met, and we're gonna try and do the show as long as possible without ever having to meet each other. It's just gonna be one of those things about the show where we don't really know if the other is real or not because we haven't seen them in person. But I have seen Gareth, and he is real in person. Taller than I thought. Actually, you were taller than I expected.
I'm not very tall, so whatever you expect, it's hilarious.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Well, it's kind of weird when you showed up because
how tall are you?
I'm 5'9" ish. I don't know.
Aww.
But when you showed up,
guy.
when Gareth showed up, I just got done putting a bed together, a bed back together after being broken. So it was kind of a weird situation.
Yeah, you guys had a little compound.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, man.
On the street, yeah, fuck yeah, that's how you should do it.
And I'd never met any of those people before, so
weird.
Yeah, it was. No. It was like driving out there. It's like I'm driving to L.A. to stay a week with people that I've only talked to online.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
Yeah, so
it's the power of what the original Death Squad brought out, because we've had Ohio meetups. We just had a big comedy show down here, and I've got 20 friends that I've met through Twitter and the Death Squad just in Ohio, or people even the last comedy show we did here, 3 or 4 kids from Indiana and shit drove 8 hours.
Oh wow, Jesus!
To come to the show, and they were all awesome. We all went to an after party together. Just spending 6-7 hours with people that you've never met, getting fucked up, but there's no fights. Everyone's always awesome.
Yeah, that's
drunk fishing kind of.
Like what?
Drunk catfish.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Exactly like that. You're right for labeling it back. It is exactly like that.
It is. It is exactly like that.
No arguing that.
No, not. I mean, I could try to argue it,
Be more like it.
but it's not going to make any sense. I usually don't make sense, so I'll leave that one alone. I try to crash everything on the show, but I'll leave something to survive.
Very sweet.
For a little bit, anyway.
Very nice.
So you've been going on tour a lot with Steve Byrne,
Yes.
buddy of yours. What are some of the places you've been to? Where's some of the places you're going?
I've been to. I'm looking at the calendar. I've been to Connecticut, Washington D.C., Chicago, San Antonio. This weekend is San Diego, and then I'll be in Fort Lauderdale and Tampa and San Jose in December.
So that's do you have like favorite clubs or places to go perform?
Yeah, they're in DC is pretty fun. Denver's fun. Seattle's fun. Those places, some of the clubs there are really, really fun. There's just some clubs that are. Levity Live in upstate New York is great. There's just some places where like the audiences are good, the staff is cool, the food is good, they hook you up, and every show's great. And those are the ones where you're just like, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, like I was in San Antonio this weekend, and like, it's a cool club, but there are just times where the crowd's just, they're not that into it, or it's spread out so wide that it kind of just fucks with you because you're used to hearing more, so places like that sometimes, you have like 70% of your shows you feel really good about, but then there's one or two where you're like, fuck that crowd or whatever,
Yeah, they can't all be gems.
No, that's true. And it's good, it's good that way. And I'll even watch Steve, like Steve will be relatively crushing, and he'll even be like, oh, that show sucked, or whatever it is. I mean, everybody always has ones, even when they appear to be crushing, just they know deep down like what they're normally getting, and that's what's
do you record any of your sets?
I record almost every one of my sets. I listen to it.
How many of them, though, have you felt that you ate a bag of dicks and then re-listened to it, and you're like, oh, I mean, I guess from the reaction I killed, but you just felt like you fucked it all up?
Yeah, there definitely. I mean, there's times, too, where you listen to it and you'll be like, I just swear too much sometimes, or whatever it is. But, yeah, there are times when, you think you bombed, and you're like, oh, yeah. I bet you, though, relatively, there's times where you think you're crushing and you probably are doing like, okay.
Oh, yeah. If you lock on to one person who really likes your act, you can think you're killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're disregarding at the other like 80 faces in the crowd or whatever the entire time, you're just like, this one guy fucking loves my shit, so I'm just focusing in on him. And then all of a sudden you listen to it back and you're like, two people are laughing.
I had one the other weekend where it was like, there was like a split down the middle, almost like the Senate, where it was like two sides. And it was literally like playing in front of the Senate. Because it was like half of them were like clapping, and then the other half were looking at you like, this is trash. So you're just like, what the fuck?
You need to mix the crowd better.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was actually made it easy on me because I was just like, well, I literally know exactly which half to play to. So
yeah. Oh man.
And then you catch yourself just staring at that side to get that reaction because comedy is so reactive. If you have a good crowd, like every time I get a good crowd or a crowd that I feel gets my material, or maybe I'm just doing better that night, I feed better off a better reaction. You get a better reaction, then I start rolling better jokes, and I get more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
Those awkward silences on it, even if you tell a joke flat, like I try to tell people, the hard part about comedy is everyone has a bad day at work. Some days you don't feel funny, and then for someone just to be like, okay, go be funny 5 minutes right now. You're having a bad day. It's like,
yeah, 5 minutes is tough too,
Well, I mean, not 5 minutes, but I'm just saying, like,
right.
15
No,
to
there are
20
sets.
minutes.
There are sets where like you will have slung the gold and have not gotten momentum, you're not doing well, and you will just finish, and you'll just be like, all right, fuck, almost done, and then leave and be able to be done with it. But think about it. But still, it's like that's why it's good to be on the road, because it's like, there's always a show around the corner no matter what. So it's like, I don't have to live with it too long.
Yeah, I never let it bother me. A lot of times because I can admit, like I usually record my set, so I'll re-listen to it and I go, oh Jesus, I skipped that whole part in there that was a punchline. That still happens, but I'm still real new in this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why recording the sets helps, mainly because the ad libs. You just like even this bit that I've been doing a bunch. I listened the other night because I just said it in the order that just made them laugh hard.
Yeah.
And was able to cherry pick that, and now just say it like that, just like, oh fuck, lucky,
So, are you focusing more on just stand-up comedy? Are you working on any other projects or anything like that?
No, once I'm done with this, then there's going to be, then I think me and Evan are going to be working on a bunch of, we're already working on a bunch of shit, but we're trying to, get another show on the air, but taking like a different approach this time a little bit to make it something maybe we want to do forever. So
nice.
Yeah.
Any info on that? Like what kind of direction you want to go in?
Well, we've like our MTV show, even our Travel Channel show. Like honestly, the difference is that normally we'll go out with an idea and we'll kind of pitch it to places. So we'll go to you go to any number of places, any number of the networks and online places, and you pitch the idea, and that's how we've worked in the past, and we've gotten deals through that. But then then what you have to do is then you work on the script a lot with the network. So the network gives you a lot of notes and things like that, and sometimes that changes what you want, and since you want it to get made, you relent and you put some of those changes in.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now is we're just going to write the script of this half-hour show that's kind of like a single camera show, but not really like a hilarious comedy, a little bit darker comedy, and we're just writing that. But the approach is mainly different, which is to just put it on paper so that hopefully people love it, and then we'll just get to do that.
Yeah, and then people don't end up fucking up your shit too.
Yeah, and then it's not, honestly, like the truth is that it's like I'm a little older now, so it's almost like the TV you watch is sort of, the things that you really, really like. My guess is that, and I don't know like how Breaking Bad was necessarily made, but, my guess is there was a script, that sort of illustrated a lot of the shit already. Yeah. Because some stuff like that, those things, they're so good, and the truth is that the reason why a lot of those shows are so good, in my opinion, is either because the network has less input overall, however you skin that, whether that's by writing it or whatever. It's like if you can get away with not having them fucking tell you what they need for the show to be good, that's just better. And
I think it's because they're like AMC wasn't they just played old movies. That's what they were. And then they were like, hey, we're going to start some shows. We're going to get some really talented people or get a real good idea. And then, hey, just go wild with it. Same way kind of FX did with like Louis and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see more of that.
Big shit. The shows that maybe honestly don't do the best as far as ratings. Broad shit does the best. Dumb reality shit does the best. Yeah. But the stuff that I think, the stuff that's really the good shit, the stuff you want to work on and want to watch is the stuff that, is true to someone's idea most of the time. So we're just trying to take that approach. And then we're pitching this other show that's crazy. So a couple things.
And this other one that's crazy.
All right. So serious thing before you have to go to, Brian from Family Guy died.
Oh, Jesus. Spoiler alert. Hold on 1 second here.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I don't watch the show, but
I don't live either because I don't have cable, but I heard about it, and then I watched the clip of it happening. And it was like, it wasn't even like funny. It was just like really sad.
Yeah, I don't know that.
And why did you bring that up?
You know?
Well, why not? It's
don't know.
something that just happened. Why didn't I bring that up?
I don't know. It's like, what does that have to do with this show? I don't know.
What does anything have to do with this show?
I guess that's true. It all connects in my head somehow, but like when you bring up that, it's like, all right, Keith went too
about
far.
Shitting in sinks. Is that what this show's about?
If it goes in that direction, yeah. And if I had shat in the sink again, yeah, maybe I'll talk about it again.
Wait,
but
Ray, you took the shit in the sink?
yeah, there was an episode. I was remodeling my bathroom, which is like right there. And
You remodeled the sink in the long term, right?
no, I was tiling the floor. No, the sink's still there, but
Shit, the what we'll call the shink.
the sink, yeah.
Shit.
So it was like the day after there's no toilet there. There's just a hole in the ground. And the night before, I was like peeing in the sink, thinking like, "Oh, this is hilarious! I'm peeing in the sink." And then the next day, I wake up and like I get the vicious like all of a sudden you gotta fucking take a shit, cold sweats, like holy crap, kind of thing. And it's a situation where I tried to, maybe I could put the toilet back over the hole and then take a shit in the toilet, or but it's
So,
like,
has the shit in?
yeah. So yeah, I didn't. So, but lifting something when you're about to explode out of your asshole isn't the best thing.
I've been on WebMD. That's true.
Yeah. So it got to the point where like all of these things are happening in like seconds, but to me it seemed like forever. But it got to the point where I had to go. Like I started, like it's just coming out. Like you can hear the bubbles, like wet gas, like bubbling out like molten hot lava out of my, like it's like, oh shit, like when you're a kid you kind of put your hand over your ass as you're like running to the toilet because I don't know, mentally it helps. My brain went back to that kind of thing, and I'm like, holy, I gotta do
something. I don't even know that technique from being a kid, but if that's what you had to go back to, I hear you.
Yes, we've all had different experiences growing up. I've had some obstacles
IBS.
in my shitting. Yeah. So anyway, I threw my pants down and jumped on the counter and just shat in the sink, and
that sink is still there.
it's still there. Yeah. Well, I was,
Dishes in it.
The
Food
shank.
drops in
Yeah.
it. I bet you've eaten something that's fallen in that sink.
no, that's disgusting. I wouldn't do that.
All right, there we go.
I'm not
shit
eating in
that's
my
fallen.
bathroom that
I'd
often, Keith.
shit in
I
my
mean,
sink.
I'm trying to cut back on the eating in the bathroom.
That's good.
If I'm taking a bath, maybe with candles, I'll have some wine and
Kramer.
crackers.
Yeah.
But not. I'm not an animal, Keith. I am a human.
Have you ever accidentally dropped your toothbrush in the sink?
I am a natural human, Keith. No, I have like a big
Now-
like
Is it the sink where you brush your teeth?
yeah. You said bathroom
It is?
sink.
yeah.
I don't know. He's got two It is. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I
That's
cleaned it
tough,
out,
huh?
guys. All right, I cleaned it out. Don't worry, I'm healthy.
Sure, there's some people that it would never be clean enough for.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not that people. I'm like, whatever. It's
Not that people.
I'm not that people.
No.
No. You don't get to become this without forgetting about that. You have to be able
Kenny
to
Rogers is not that people.
you have to learn how to let go of things so you can move forward. And I don't dwell in the past. I plot forward and rinse the shit out of the sink.
future. Yep.
And it was lucky, it was like soft serve shit. So it went down the drain nice.
So
Two girls,
the
one
terrible
cup, and
tail emerges.
Yes, the tail emerges. I thought it was going to be, when it all happened, I thought I was going to have shit just like just painted like Jackson Pollock up the side of the counter and all over the edge of the sink. But luckily, it all made its target in the sink, and
It's a Christmas miracle.
it was. If only it was
Mr.
on Christmas. But yeah, it's
Wow.
sometimes shit happens, and you have to.
That you fucking devil.
Yeah, you guys. How did that even come up? How did I get talking about that
you want
story?
to talk shit about me bringing up the fact that Brian from Family Guy died.
Yeah.
And I said,
He-
you talk
Oh.
about shitting in sinks, so
Yeah.
that's the direction you wouldn't
Alright.
take the show in.
That's true. Hey, that's a good direction, all right? It's a positive direction. Not talking about death All right.
No, on the contrary, the miracles of the human body.
Yeah. Digestion.
Everyone poops.
Everyone does. Some in a sink. Some. Few. A limited. Let's just say an exclusive number.
Hey, Gareth, you grew up in Wisconsin. How many times have you taken a shit outside?
Not that many times.
Is it normal?
Right?
Is that something for Wisconsin?
Like a city kid, like they don't know about shitting outside.
Yeah,
but
no, there's definitely been times where there's not really a choice with whatever the activity is.
Yeah, if you're in the woods, man.
But
a lot of shit outside.
Yeah, no, I've done that. Sure. For charity, sure.
Oh, well,
for charity.
At least it's for a good cause. That's what I should have done. I should have gotten some sponsors.
For the Philippines, right?
How hard is it to get a sponsor on the fight after you've done that and pretend that that's the pitch, just to see if we can get someone on board?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Ray. Did you really even want to think about the kids? It doesn't sound like it.
Let's just say hindsight is 20/20, guys. The brown eye sees clearly after the shit has hit the fan, okay? As a wise man once said.
And that you keep using.
Oh, yes. And again, if you ever are doing that biopic, please, I can shit in sinks.
Not that. Okay, that's not even in the hypothetical world where Martin Scorsese is making that movie.
Yeah,
and that is happening.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There is no shitting in the sink scene.
Oh, come on now. Come on. There's gotta
They might shoot it, but they're definitally going to cut that out in post-production.
Again, he's lying to you.
It all depends on what kind of music Scorsese can, or I'm sorry, Marty can find to drop.
No, that is not part of it. No.
It's all about the music.
They're actually going to just shoot the scenes so you have to shit in the sink.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Then they're going to cut it out just so you had to do it in front of a bunch of people. He was like, I was never going to put that in. I just wanted to make him shit in the sink.
No, it's about his party days in the 90s, and in the background is the Macarena. Right?
No.
The character has to go through like a beaded curtain. Like there's the beaded, so you hear the beads splashing in the background.
Were they doing that in the 80s? Was that the 80s?
I don't know, man.
Beads were definitely big in the 80s. I don't want to get on board.
Listen, guys, this is my future here. This is my career we're talking about. This is what could potentially take Inspired Disorder to the next level.
No, Ray, it's not your Playboy radio. Don't look at it like that. No.
But I need something, Gareth. Give me something.
I'm giving you great advice.
That's true. You are giving me great advice. And I'm glad I'm recording this. This isn't even going to come out as a podcast. This is just for my personal stash.
I thought he was going to say, and I'm not even recording this.
It's and we are doing. You guys are ready to go live now, right? I totally forgot to start.
Weird on so many levels.
We should really do that to somebody sometime.
It's happened on accident before, but.
Oh man, that would be so funny. All right, man. Well, let's start the podcast.
It'll be like I'll just start doing. Yeah, I just won't do the intro music at the beginning anymore. I'll just edit it in.
Yeah, got that. I didn't even ask you how you liked it. I just wanted to play it to see how you liked it.
Yeah,
all right, let's go live.
Yeah, this is just a warm up. I just want you to know.
A lot of the stuff we just did too. Let's keep a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you remembered what we just talked about because that was great shit. Now let's repeat it. Like now, that's what you guys do at the Naughty Show, right? It's all scripted. You guys rehearse.
Taking notes and say that first, third, and eighth thing that you said. Do that again.
But we've now found out code for Vicky and Sam is mom and aunt, because he's going to rehearse pre-show. The script is in. I got to go see my mom and aunt to do dinner, which is rehearsal, and then you do the live show.
I'll tell you when you're not nailing it, and I'm not doing it. Nailing it.
Yeah.
Nail.
Yes.
Got me. You're good, right?
I find the longer my beard gets, the more accurate my.
See the fucking beard. Don't tease me.
Oh yeah, you can't see the beard.
Don't tease me.
Toronto's mayor smokes crack.
That guy's a bad motherfucker, man.
I love. I love that guy so much.
Yeah. He's
Did you hear Seth Rogen just got his movie greenlit? That he's been shopping around for like 5 years about a politician who gets caught smoking crack.
That's awesome.
Clearly.
He's been shopping around for 5 years, and then all of a sudden this Rob Ford shit happens, and then they're like,
maybe
"Hey,
he
we'll
paid
make that movie."
When I saw Rob Ford say that he like defending like he never ate her pussy, he has plenty to eat at home. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, it's like he's following up like Sergeant Pepper with Abbey Road. You know what I mean? I was like, he's doing it. He's killing it again. Out killing himself.
Chris Farley reincarnated as someone who probably Chris Farley's age.
Well written.
I
Like, he
never
just jumped
put
soul.
plenty to eat at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I did my last comedy show, it was some guys from Toronto that do the High on Trees show.
Oh, those are great dudes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They
that was a hot show.
Yeah, hot. We have to call it hot in
Abbreviated.
America.
Yeah.
Oh, hot on trees.
No, just hot.
Just hot.
High on Trees acronym or whatever, right? Acronym?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that would be the acronym. I just did the math. Yep.
I just didn't know if I was using the right word.
Yeah. Joe and
Words are tricky.
Joe came down, and Jason, who's from Columbus, like they did everything at the last show, and I hosted it, and it was a good time.
Dude, they're great dudes. We had so much. I mean, Toronto was so fucking fun to go to. They were just the best dudes. I'm sure it was fun.
But the whole time, since that whole shit happened since then, I got to make fun of him nonstop for the whole
It's
marriage.
just terrific. It's what we needed.
It's the
Yeah,
Charlie
finally.
Sheen.
Yeah, we needed this. We needed a break. Everything's falling apart. We need this. Give me this.
Thank
you, Canada.
And my favorite was him,
America's hat, the chapeau of the nation.
Yeah.
him running over that old lady in like the parliament session or whatever they call their bullshit. Like someone was heckling him in the crowd, and he just like ran over an old lady.
Yeah, he's a bull.
It was fucking great.
And then he did when he tried to throw the football, everything. Pictures, he's the best. He's tremendous.
Oh, God love Rob Ford.
Yeah.
Honestly. If he doesn't get into heaven, then I don't believe that the heaven exists.
He's bringing crack back, man.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Back and crack.
He's like, there's a shortage in this world, and the shortage is crack, and I have a mission.
I love how he's like, I'm not stepping down. And my favorite is his brother is also on the city council. And his brother's like,
dickhead too.
His brother is the fucking best because he's like, what? You never smoked pot?
Yeah. He was like, have you smoked marijuana? He was like, let's focus on the topic. It was like, the topic is whether the mayor smoked crack.
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone stand up and go, are you fucking comparing pot to crack?
Because he was pointing at a loaded gun the whole time. Probably.
Like, seriously, are you doing that? If you're going there, because we'll go there.
Yeah, everybody's okay with crack, but if you smoke weed, holy shit. Did you inhale?
Yeah.
We have to get the technical, like, did you pretend to smoke it, or were you really smoking it? Crack, okay.
When you're like, don't help me anymore.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'll rip his fucking eyes out. Quote, Rob Ford.
Yeah.
About Mike Tyson, I think.
Yeah, that's how I would beat Mike Tyson.
Of course. What else would that quote be about other than Mike Tyson?
Just give me 15 minutes. I mean, maybe 10
really
minutes.
dedicated to the video game.
Yeah.
I'm a crazy motherfucker.
It's like, I think when he winks, then I can punch. I think. I'm going to fucking rip his eyes out. Makes a weird wah wah, and then you duck, and then you hit him, uppercut. Right?
That's what crack does.
Yeah. That's how you win the game. You have to smoke
He was
crack.
playing
to win
Mike
that
Tyson's
game.
Punch-Out in his mind right then. He's like, if you just give me like 15 minutes, I'll fucking tear his eyes out.
That's how you get kids to stop smoking crack. You're like, it's literally punch out. Stop.
Yeah.
Let's
Crack
play the
smack.
game Knockout.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Loosely based on Punch-Out.
I don't know if I ever played that one. I only played the real one.
What?
It sounded like
Oh,
a cat.
Jesus.
Anyway.
All right, don't you have to go?
I got dinner, yeah.
Jesus. Well,
gotta go.
tell everybody where they can stalk you on the internet, Gareth, before you go have dinner, quote unquote.
You can find me on Facebook/Reynolds Gareth, Twitter @Reynolds Gareth, and then check out hilarious videos, hilarious spelled wrong, at evanandgareth.com or youtube.com/user Evan and Gareth. That's on my postcard.
Aw, you have postcards. That's so sweet.
Went to Vistaprint.
Aw. You're moving up in the world, my friend.
Yes,
Vistaprint.
one postcard at a time.
Most people use business cards. Fuck that nonsense.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
I mean,
big or
obviously,
go home.
since you are a guest on our show, like
It's
you
working.
will be vastly more popular after
Yeah.
this.
Thank
You may
Namaste.
even have a chance at an MMA belt after this show.
Namaste. I'll go punch the first person I fucking see. You guys are right.
Well, hopefully you run into somebody besides your family members when you leave.
Videotape it and say World Star right after
Yeah.
you do it.
Make sure you have the phone straight up.
Yeah, I'm
and
not
down.
an idiot, Keith. Obviously, I'm going to say World Star.
That's what everybody.
You know,
needs
if
to
you
do.
don't video it and say World Star, I'm not going to see it. So
Website is the best. Well, thank you for having me on. I love
yeah,
you too.
man. Oh, I
And,
didn't say I loved you, but you know,
I
I guess
thought you guys
since
said I love you.
I'm
maybe.
in love with him. But
oh, okay. I mean, I am. I just didn't think I said it out loud.
But no,
That's
you
so awkward.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. It's like, oh, he said it
just
back.
got turned down by Ray. I mean,
I
don't
didn't
know.
get turned. I was.
No,
I thought
you kind of turned him down. Like, let's be honest.
I think
You offered love.
I think
and
you can do better than
rejected
me.
it.
Listen, it's
And I
not
feel
it's
bad
not
for him,
him,
like-
it's me, Keith. It's not him, it's me. All right? He can do better than me. Listen.
@Reynolds Gareth.
Look at that man. Look at that beautiful face. The video works at the right times, and it's clearly the work of a genius somewhere. I don't know. But
Who knows where I am? I don't know. Afghanistan.
who knows?
All right, guys.
All right, man. Well, have a great
Brother.
show. Have fun. Thank you for coming on.
Gobble. Bye, Keith. Bye, Ray.
Bye.
Peace out, man.
Bye.
Bye. Cool. And we are back. Keith.
And that was Gareth Reynolds.
That was
everyone.
Gareth Reynolds. If you are watching live, go to playboyradio.com in... Well, they start at 9, I think. Go there at 9 p.m. Pacific. Late as fuck Eastern. And listen to this man live or download the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all that shit.
Do
Awesome
it.
podcast.
I mean, why not?
I don't know. But some people are just really hesitant. They're scared. They're scared
Well, I
sometimes
hate
to
that.
laugh. People are
Nature
scared to
dog.
laugh. It's really sad. I think there's,
Why do they live?
I don't know, man. They live because they got a trophy for losing
I'm
soccer when they
So
were a kid.
furious
And
about that.
Now they think they're going to get a trophy no matter what, but it doesn't happen that way. And we know it because
It's not how life works.
it's not how life works. Life works by, you have to make bad decisions. You're going to be making a lot of bad decisions. Some are as minor as shitting in a sink. Others may be as serious as
Ripping half your face off.
ripping half your face off. I mean, there's a wide variety, much gray area just in bad decision making. So expect it. Prepare yourself for the bad decisions. Take notes. Learn how to learn from your mistakes. Record yourself speaking sometimes so you can later go back and realize
That I
how
was an
stupid you
asshole. I
sound.
shouldn't say that.
Yes, do that in regular everyday life. Just go to your day job and record yourself as you talk and just
It'll
listen.
make you better.
Yes, it'll make you better. Put on deodorant. That will make you better as well.
Because you stink.
You might stink. I don't want to make generalizations, as my friend Keith likes to
Smell
do.
like asshole. And you
Unless
need to wear deodorant.
some people are into assholes, in which case maybe just find your audience. I am not into the smell of assholes.
Jim
I
Norton
prefer.
loves it.
Jim Norton allegedly is in love with assholes. So find your audience. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
And punch him in the dick.
Punch him in the dick and work really hard. You got to work really hard, but you have to also. What would you say is a better punch strategy? Would it be the jab or a hook or uppercut? I think uppercut maybe, just in case there's some...
I actually call it an uppercut, and that's when you punch a girl in the pussy.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. That's next level shit. That's I don't think the people listening to this, I have the utmost respect for them, but I don't even think I'm ready for that.
I don't advocate hitting women.
No.
But I do call a pussy uppercut an uppercut.
Okay, so what are we doing as far as punching in the balls? You got to work really hard and you got to punch life in the balls. Was it life or just a random person? What kind of punch are we throwing? Everyone, you punch every single person in the balls.
Everyone that you meet, you should punch them in the balls.
But what would you say is the correct strike for that punch? Just anything? Does anything go?
I'm actually
not
trying to bring the karate chop back.
Ooh, the chop. That's now. Would you want to go for the ball or above the ball? Like maybe, if you do it right,
think you
castration.
want to go straight meat because the meat's not going to hurt as much. I don't want to injure someone for life.
Okay.
So a straight meat chop right in the middle. I mean,
between the balls, just to show them, it's like this is how accurate I can be. I can karate chop you right between your left and your right ball.
Chop.
A shaft shot.
Like if I was. I'm just coming straight down on the shaft.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. What if they like lean to the left a little bit?
Correct. There's a prospect of injury in any attempt at a shaft chop,
especially
right, left, and then really injure a ball, which I'm not trying to do. Like, so if you receive what I would like to be a shaft chop, and it goes errant to a ball right or left. Yeah. I apologize.
And then you have to be concerned with how excited this person is. I mean, you don't know necessarily if they're sporting some wood. That completely throws off the dynamics.
You could slide
angle.
off. You could get a good shaft shot.
You could,
and then slide off right or left.
That's true.
And then
what happens if you go direct? You could snap that shit in half. Right.
Well, I mean, unless fully erect on a straight shaft, like that might happen. But most people are mostly wearing pants.
I mean, I guess unless you're trying to sell beef jerky, that's probably not something you'd want to happen. Snap.
But I mean,
and even that's probably not
maybe you could chop someone's shaft in half.
Could.
I mean, if they were fully erect and you came down sharp enough.
That's true. I mean, a really thin hand, you have long hands, right? Like mine are kind of
I don't know, but it's not that thick, so maybe I have a thin enough hand to chop the shaft in half. It would have to be a thick enough shaft.
That's true. Well, you could do some research and maybe people can submit pictures of their shafts for you to go over if you'd want, and you can pick the right one. I mean, I guess if you were going to set it up, I mean, I don't know how far you want to go with this, but if it's going to help your career,
I'm not saying how drunk I will be when I chop the shaft.
Yeah.
But depending on how drunk I am at shaft chopping time.
Yeah, that's true.
That could. Do
you think the drinking level,
trajectory of my hand,
is there a point of diminishing returns with if you get too drunk, then the chop may not be as accurate,
Oh, it's probably not. There's probably going to be an errant thigh or stomach chop.
So you're gonna need a few more swings just in case.
And you know what? If I miss once or twice, I get so frustrated. I probably just punch the shaft directly with a fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that would probably just break it like you were worried about earlier instead of actually cleaving it in two.
Be kind of bursting a water balloon almost, just
oh man,
splatter paint. I don't know.
I would say right after it happened, I would want to hear do 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 do. I don't know why.
Yeah, because you just went in the pipe.
Yeah,
that's I think that's the technical. I think the technical term Freddie Roach, I think, was talking about in an interview where he's teaching GSP going into the pipe. And I think that may have been the move. He wasn't able to utilize it, execute correctly during the UFC. I think, one, because it's illegal to hit the crotch area. So that may have been a setback. But I believe I heard the interview on the internet, allegedly. It's really interesting. May have been a TED Talk. I think it may have been a TED Talk.
If another female fighter uppercuts another female fighter in the vagina,
you can sue them because that's your move. You trademarked it, right? You can make some money off
and Joe
of that.
Rogan then calls it an uppercunt. Like, I've already phrased that, like, right,
Yeah.
like trademark, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it's Joe Rogan, I probably wouldn't.
No, I would
encourage-
let him have it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I wouldn't. It's not like I would.
But he would at least have to. He'd have to come on the show. I mean, that at
I
least
would
come
think
on the
at that
show,
point,
talk
like,
to the
because
guy. You coined the phrase.
I've coined the phrase uppercut.
Yeah. It's clearly been established on the show on Tuesday, November or December. What I don't even know it.
26th. November 26th.
I don't know what time it is anymore in my life. It just flies by.
8:41 Eastern Standard Time.
8:41 in the piece.
In the peas.
Yeah, man. Gareth
All
Reynolds.
right.
Well, you want to just
Let's wrap it up.
wrap it up,
let's
tie it
wrap
up in a knot, slap it on its ass, and avoid the crotch, the dick punching karate chop. Inevitable. It's going to happen. Where can everybody find you, Keith?
In my back room
In his back room where it's cold as fuck.
in
degrees.
Ohio where it's cold.
If you go back to an episode, one of the first episodes Keith was on, he actually gave his address out if there are any
I've
stalkers.
done it
out there.
twice, actually.
But that was a long time. That was like a year ago, actually.
Probably
We did
close.
That's around the time.
But
this is
yes,
around the time you
I guess
started.
I'm on Twitter, Keith Spurlock 1.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook, just Keith Spurlock. YouTube, Inspired Disorder Collective, all that other shit.
Yeah, go check out his new his latest stand up on Inspired Disorder Collective in the video section.
Izzy Rock videoed that for me. Wasn't
Nice.
my best set, but I threw it out there. I haven't put a set out in a long time.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man. I think all of your videos are on the IDC site, I believe. But
Yeah, they are.
yeah, cool, man. And any shows coming up?
December 6th, big show in Findlay, Ohio. The return of TJ Warner, who was my partner for a while, and then I ran the show by myself. So he's coming back.
That's a Comedy at the Q show.
Comedy at the Q.
Now I saw something on Facebook that it's the last one of the year.
Yeah.
Now, are you bringing it back after the new year, or is it like
Hopefully.
Okay.
Depending on how this show goes.
Okay, cool, man.
So make me a flyer.
Everybody in Ohio, yeah. Send me the names unless
I
they're
will.
on that post. Yeah. So if you're in Ohio, we're going to be in Ohio, December 6th, right?
Yeah.
Go to Comedy at the Q and follow it on Facebook. Go friend that page up.
Yes.
Do that. Do it now and go to
Do it in the mouth.
Do it in the mouth, son. Right in the vocal box area of the face. Go to #shows.com and check out all the cool comedians. I believe, I would assume Gareth has his schedule on there. Hopefully, if not, he should. And any other comics, see when they're playing, where they're playing. Check out their time. Support stand-up comedy. #shows.com. And Jill Himitsu, who runs #shows and also helps us get our amazing, wonderful guests, which next week hopefully will be PDC. He was supposed to be on last week. We had to skip
But I
a
was
week.
sick.
Keith was sick. I've been
sorry.
dealing with some stuff here on the home front. But hopefully PDC next week, next Tuesday. Not sure the time. Potentially same time, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. Do that and go to at Ray Taylor on Twitter. Go to inspireddisorder.com. I just redesigned the site. I added a bunch of merch. I'm actually gonna go take pictures of some new paintings to make prints of and sell the original pieces online. But you can order prints right now. They're manufactured from somebody else. I'm gonna have prints available through Etsy, which will be signed prints if you want signed prints. So there's a bunch of shit going, and the shirts are super fucking cheap. If you go to the Etsy store, Inspired Disorder Etsy store, I'm selling the shirts for super fucking cheap, and also the prints. So now is the time. If you want an Inspired Disorder shirt, go there, and you can still save 10%, I believe, if you use coupon
It's
code
so
Inspired.
diseasy.
It's diseasy, son. It's diseasy. And I got a show, Ray at Night, in San Diego, North Park, December 14th. Go there, 6 to 10 p.m. It's free. It's a street art fair thing. Stop by the Inspired Disorder tent. Say hi. I'm going to have a bunch more podcast DVDs to give away and a bunch of other shit to give away and a bunch of shit for sale. So if you can't make it out, fucking find an artist and buy some shit for the holiday season from them. Don't go to a big chain store. Buy from creative people. And if there are no creative people around you, go to Etsy. It's a good online community of creative people where you can buy shit. Support independent artists, motherfucker. And go to Inspired Disorder Collective. Sign up. Become a member. All that kind of shit. And thank you for listening to this episode. I guess I should get this shit ready.
Boom.
Boom. Peace out. Oops.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.